Welcome back. It is time for another update of the South Central Kansas MLS statistics. We're looking at November 2023, so just last month. We just got the report. So I'm switching up gears a little bit. I know I've talked about the entire MLS. We're going to go now more to Sedgwick County these days. Sedgwick County will be a little higher because it does include all five-ish counties. It's the biggest one. It has higher prices, so it's a little more reflective because since the outskirts, have to an extent some lower dollars and fewer sales. So I'll just mix it up here and there. So anyway, here we go. Yeah, let's Sedgwick County. Let's check it out. As always, I'll get to the median price point, the chart a little bit later. Kind of talk a little bit about what I'm seeing on the market. Kind of talk about some national news. I know I just put out 2024 market predictions. We'll talk about that throughout this as well. What the experts are saying. So, and it's sounding, anyways, hold that thought for a second. So quick into the market overview before we look at the charts that flesh it out a little bit, which are easier to see. Again, total home sales fell last month to 511 compared to 530 units a year ago. This basically, probably just look at the interest rates. Total sales volume was down 132 million from a year earlier. Same story that I've been telling the last many months. Median sale price in November was 220,000, down from 222,000. Only the last couple months have I really said it's down. Although when I did analyze it, I did look back at Sedgwick County. I did notice there was a couple other, and we'll check it out here in a second. Actually, let's wait till we get there. Homes sold in November would typically go on the market for 10 days. Whoa. Okay, that's up a bit. And sold for 100% of their list prices. But I got to admit, I am shocked. There were some houses that I thought would be off the market, or if they were listed in the summertime, they would have had multiple offers on them right away. Super cute. The little grandma houses were a couple of them. But yeah, so if you are in the market right now, again, if you are in the market, not promoting just buying a house to buy a house, right now is you got a little window because interest rates are going down. And they're expected to be this was just announced like 2 days ago, three drops in rates expected for 2024. The active listings in Sedgwick County at the end of November was over 1,091, up from 840 at the same point in 2022. Let's keep this trajectory going. That's great to see. Represents 1.9 months supply of homes available for sale. And then let's talk about the list price for a second, not the sale price, which we just did. The median list price looks like it was 300,000 at the end of November. So let's go on down to the big charts, which are easier to read. Try to blow them up a little bit more. So here we're just talking about it's down 530. Look at 765 from 2021 to 530 last year, and then we're still down a little bit more, 511. But on great news, the second, and that's let's just say interest rate issues here. But on the good news, where it was, like I said, multiple offers like crazy in 2021, we were at 532 and it went up to 840 last year. And then it greatly, and we'll show a chart here down below in a second about the listings, which show, past month, November, September, August, July, June. And so you can see that chart from month to month, not just year to year as this chart shows. But the good thing about this chart, you're comparing it to the same time of the month a year ago, where in the chart we'll see in a second, you're looking at it year to year and month to month. So it's kind of cool. It's one of my favorite charts. So let's see, month supply, as you can see, 0.7 to 1.2 to 1.9. Excellent news. New listings, looks like it jumped down and back up. These are new listings that came on board in November alone. And contracts written from 2 years, I'm just looking at it from 2 years ago, just for kicks. 628 was down a bunch last year and popped up a little bit, so that's good news. And spoiler alert here. One of the experts is predicting like January is going to be like the buyers are going to be back in droves. He's just like kind of, teaching all agents to gear up, do your prospecting, get their people on board because January is going to go bazonkers is what he thinks. And he wasn't even anticipating the rate reductions that we've seen. The one credit union that I follow, which is kind of the best, I will admit, just because obviously I work with a lot of different banks with my buyers, was down to 5.5 two different times this week on FHA. So, and of course, I'm watching it finance when it hits a certain point myself, since I did just buy a home. So anyway, but yeah, he says he believes it's going to go crazy and January is going to be phenomenal. That's more what he's saying because of the pent up demand. And he's saying that, interest rates, and other experts are saying this too, that interest rates, people now realize, look, it's not going back to the 2s and 3s. So if you keep holding on to that, you're going to be waiting for 20 years. Like 20 years ago, people, the ones that did sit on, hey, we're to wait for interest rates to reduce, ended up, going 20 years where the interest rates finally reduced or something I can't remember. Several agents are posting this stuff that if you're waiting for the interest rates to go down, houses are appreciating. So by the time interest rates go down, your house is going to cost so much more and you've killed all that equity. So the moral of the story they're saying is buy now, refinance later. It kind of sounds like that Dave Ramsey stuff I've seen, or if you've read Dave Ramsey. Okay, so let's go down to median sale price. Here we go. So 210 was 2 years ago, 222 last year, and 220. It still surprises me to see some of this go down, which is going to be going back. And as soon as like that one expert was saying, as soon as the buyers come back on and the interest rates are lower, so between both the pent up demand and the interest rates being lower, the people are going to be out like crazy, which means bidding wars and driving the price right back up. That's why, to me, anytime right now that I see a lower price like this, that it's gone down, it's like we just don't have the inventory to sustain prices being down here. That's why we have this little pocket. And gosh, like buying a house like this week or going under contract or last week, but some reason the last couple of weeks, small window of opportunity. It's gonna be interesting to see. And even in our showings time service, I would show you this, except that when we went through it, mine wasn't working. We used Broker Bay, and what it showed though was half of the people from a year ago, or no, I'm sorry, a month ago. The last 2 weeks, we've had half the showings as we did just the months before that. So that'd be like the 2 weeks in November. Let's say just 2 weeks in November compared to October, in those months went down in half. Again, which is why I'm saying very short window right now to buy a house. And maybe we've already passed it. I don't know, because always when we're looking at data, we're always looking at past data. And then days on market, like I said, this is keeps showing the same story. Looking at 5.5, which is typical of October's, since this is what we're looking year over year. And then we're at 10. We're double the time right now. Percent of list price, though, the houses looks like they're still selling at list price. Again, we do have low inventory, except like a recent client of mine, I'm surprised they got it. Actually, they did go over a little bit, but I thought that would be a multiple offer and that they wouldn't get it, but luckily they did. Another one was thinking of buying. They ended up not pulling the trigger. Many reasons make sense. They're just, but they could have gotten a deal on that one. And I believe another recent one of mine did get a deal, a 10K down. So again, there's always variable. One was a location that had it been in other locations, it would have been multiple offers. Location, school district, gorgeous house, but still it surprised me because we had so many multiple offers. And of course, right now we are in the slower season, right? We got Christmas coming up. I think it's a week from Monday. So maybe this is like an incredible week to go buy a house, if you're looking for Christmas house. 100%. So let's see, percent of the original. Okay, that's down a little bit. Percent of the original price is down a little bit. Okay, and that makes sense based on everything I'm saying. Closed listings were down 530. There was 511 this year. And let's go, again, we just look at the median sale price. Oh, and then let's look at the month supply. Like I mentioned, 1.2 month supply a year ago, so we've got more inventory. And we had I went to the NAR, National Association of Realtors, listened to their summit forecast, and they said builders and new construction is just doing great right now. They're ahead of the game. Resales lagging a little bit compared to that, but new construction is bebopping. The supply chain's getting a little bit better and more normalized. So yeah, they're doing pretty good, and that's has some contribution for sure to why we've got more supply on the market. I think they always talk about new construction starts when they start like building a house. And I know the permits were, here have been up the last 2 years, not as up as much as they were predicting, but they're definitely up. So new construction just again keeps going. We just need more resale houses. History of closed listings, as you can see down here, we're about the 600 and we're going below it. So the lowest, and that's 2017, which makes sense because all these years have been really good in real estate until till the inventory just kind of went down, and the perfect storm of low interest rates that were in 2020 and low inventory. So yeah, as you can see, we have the history of closed listings is a good deal below. And you look at last year, January and February. So based on that guy's prediction, I'm going to be curious to see what this January of 2024 looks like, because he's saying that he believes, this looks a little bit below last year's, what are we looking at? November. I think that is last year's November. So we'll get you next time on. Well, actually, that'll be in 2 months, and that'll be in mid-February when I'm doing the recap to see how January looked. But speaking of that, let's look at the closed listings here. So yeah, this year, look at that. Look how far down we were in January. 394, and I know that's because interest rates started kicking into high gear at the end of last year. I'm just thinking of one particular listing, which is what keeps me at the forefront of my mind. They just could have had 15K more based on they waited a month to get something done, and interest rates started to skyrocket. So yeah, so that's henceforth like the really low January, low February closed listings, and it had gone down here, and then still down. Look at just compared to the year before, it's all down. So 6 to 7, it's just everything's lower. I'm trying to find one that's above last year, but I'm not seeing it. So all home sales closed listings were down from the previous year, and then 2002 that was down from 21. That's down, down. Okay, so it looks like it's just been a similar trend from even the year before, 8 to 7, 8. Okay, August we had a little bit higher in 2022 than 2021. And then just, went down. Look at that, 500 compared to in the 700s of October, November, and December. So you can tell that's where the interest rates really took a hit. Closed listings by price range, 2 in the $1 million and up club. And let's see, I always like to see where the bulk of that's month supply. Whoops. 200. It's all 15% 2 to 250, and then 13% up to 400. So the bulk is between the 200 and 400K range. That did sell, and then 2 in the $1 million and up club. Let's carry on. Let's see. Let's go down to median price. Okay, here's the fun chart that I always love looking at. Let's see. 2023 is blue, a little more chaotic on the blue. Look at that, up, down, down. And this is median price. So on the lower end, Sorry, I had to check my phone, have somebody coming over. Red is 2021, so on the bottom. So, okay, let's go over here. So 2023 is down. February, though, was higher than the year before from a price point. And then higher on March, down in April, higher in May, higher in June, higher in July, higher, down, and then down. Yeah, this was surprising because when I was looking at, since I've done a lot of times these recaps on the entire MLS, they did have, I think all of this was always higher until the last month or two. But then when I compared Sedgwick, I'm like, okay, no, there was like 2 months in 2023, except, that were down compared to the previous month until this last one. So yeah, so right now I'm kind of saying, 220 or 230 is kind of the median price point here. We're seeing a 390 something for the national median price point when I'm pulling it off the NAR statistics board. So that gives you comparison for Wichita being Sedgwick County, 220, 230. Yes, I realize we had some 240s, but I'm just averaging across the board compared to 390s-ish for national. So again, we keep hearing about the affordability crisis. We do not have that here. And here we've got days on market. Let's go down to median. I've been seeing 3 for so long that I compare everything to 3, since 3s are in, and again, since I'm circling, when it's the bebopping part, the main season of real estate, I see 3 so often, especially because it was just so hard during this time writing so many offers, so many multiple offers, to where I see 10 and I'm like, oh my gosh. And of course, when we look at this whole data, 10 is huge. So things are really long on that. But again, remember, it went to about 8 in the interest rate zone. So completely makes sense for days on market. And January, with interest rates just creeping up now, and once we're past the first holiday or second holiday, whether Christmas or New Year's Eve, we're going to see what's going to happen. But that's going to be interesting to see. So December, it looks like 7. I still, like I said, it's been December though that I haven't seen houses moving super fast, and we've seen a bunch of price reductions as well. So that number's could be, I would think, a little bit higher in January. Like I said, we'll see if that's just going to jump down. Now we're looking at active listings that are on the market, all active listings as of November, not just new ones. So we're at 840, and we've increased to 109.1 from a year ago. Went from 1.2 to 1.9, just increased some. And then 3, and for list price was higher last year during November, 315,000. And then, like I said, I was just talking about price reductions that we've seen, again, based on the lovely interest rate that went up to 8, which is the highest in, was it 20 years or something? I can't remember. Some numbers I remember right off the top of my head. Some I have to see a couple times, and just depends what. So, which is why I go through these numbers in front to kind of, and so it sinks in a little bit more. But yeah, so down pricing is that median price point for listings, active listings, are down from a year ago. Days on market, though, are down a little bit, and percent of original price is still 100%. History of active listings, it still surprises me that we're seeing an uptick, although, like I said, I've been saying over 1,000 for this past year a lot, versus in the 500s, 600s, and 700s over the last year or two. So, and I'm thinking like right here where all these blue ones are. The red is the moving average and actual values. Yeah, during these times, there were so few houses on the market, hence the bidding wars, multiple offers going, pricing going up. And that's what we're concerned that's going to happen this next year. Interest rates, granted, they're even though they're only down a little bit, like in the 6s from a national perspective. or supposed to be. NAR is predicting it's going to potentially get down to 6.3% by the end of the year for the interest rate. Realtor.com is predicting maybe 6.5, a little higher than what NAR is, and I think the other one didn't mention her. She was with the National Home Association new builds. So with the reduction in interest rate and just that pent up demand since people haven't really moved, and what we're seeing in a lot of articles is that just watch out. And I mean, and of course my belief structure, but I always present articles just to give it some validation. And I think I'm going to pull one of them up and do it in a future video, but just stating that buying it now at this interest rate is going to be better than when you wait, and the price point is going to be up another $50,000 when, later next year or whatever it is that she gives a specific example. So you're going to be, your interest rate is going to be down, but the price is going to be up higher just due to the multiple offers and bidding that we're going to probably get back to. But hopefully supply comes back even more. So active listings by month, as you can see, we've hit over 1,000. And this is the numbers that I was talking about that I just remember, like sub 400s. Oh, that was a tough time. We're at least now 1,000, so people can kind of pick and choose. And the ones that don't have the perfect houses, the sellers, you just price it accordingly is fine. Or do the repairs and get it up to that pristine look that brings in multiple offers and multiple buyers. So active listings by price range. Well, our $1 million got 25 of them. That's the days on average. Well, we usually look at the median. So only 80 days. That's not bad. 25. And then over here, the bulk of it is between the $300,000 and $400,000 for the active listings that are currently active on the market. So if you're in that price point, that's a good thing because you've got more to choose from. And let's see, we're still on active listings. So median price on active listings, we went over. It's down. It was down last month. It was down the month before. It was down the month before. It was up in July. Okay, up in the, so for sellers, if this gives you any indication, although like I said, I've already mentioned what we're expecting for next year, but they were selling better, but the interest rates were lower also during this time. Not as high as it got to the 8% up in October. Or funny enough, October does pretty decent. So 329. Oh, okay. Well, August and October. I'm just looking at October does a little bit better than September because we always talk about like back to school. When it gets back to school time, it kind of slows down a little bit. People are getting their kids ready to go back to school, and then it pops back up. Let's call it like by Halloweenish time or something. So, and this is kind of reflecting these numbers are just looking at them like August is below. In October, it just is higher than both September and August. October almost kicks back to the July numbers, where July people are still shopping fairly heavily. And December took a little bit of a hit. Well, from the year before, I'm just looking at 320. No, that's not true. I'm sorry. It's almost 100K over. That's, oh my gosh, those numbers. Look at that, 250. And I round in my head just to keep better track of stuff. 250 almost to 330. Not quite 100K jump, but kind of just from the median price of listings. Gotta love that appreciation. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. If you have any questions on this or any of the other counties and want some more information, give me a holler. We can talk about it. If you're looking to buy or sell, please reach out to me. I can kind of give you the scoop more in general, more of what I'm seeing on the boots on the ground, so to speak. And if you know of anybody, please send them my way. Would love talking real estate. So, hey, thanks for watching and have a great day.